you can't blame me for this one. Waterstones had a sale. Hi everyone, my name's Chloe, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here today. Today's video is going to be my December book haul. Now, I bought a lot of books in December, and it's not even because it was Christmas. I got like one book as a Christmas present from family, and then like another 5 as part of Secret Santas or gifts from friends. So very, very few of these were actually Christmas books. But there was one particular sale after Christmas that happened that I will get to right at the end of this video. And also I just bought a lot of books because, yeah, I don't know. I have no excuse. But you know what? I didn't particularly spend my money on too much else during the month. So if I'm only going to spend it on one thing, why not be books? I mean, the why not would be because I have nowhere to put these books, but you know, it's fine. Right, I'm just gonna crack on because I have got a stack of like 30 books to talk about. I'm probably not going to give you the best synopsis for any of these because I don't think I'll have time unless you want this to be a ridiculously long video. So let's just show you what I got, shall we? Just going to talk through the order that I acquired these, so there is no grouping for them. But the first one is Girls of Storm and Shadow by Natasha Nyan. I read Girls of Paper and Fire in November, I believe, October, November, one of those two, and decided that I did want to carry on with the series. I wanted the hardback because I had the first one in hardback. I've got the third one, which you will see later on actually, because I ordered it from Fairy Loot. Wasn't able to find the Fairy Loot version of this because that would have completed the series, but wanted the hardback at least so that it matched on my shelves. Did manage to find this, found it on Depop for like £8. It's a used copy, but you can't really tell too much. I'm going to try and spray the edges at some point so that all 3 of them have sprayed edges. This is a series set in a world where the king every year chooses this group of girls to be his paper girls, which are essentially his concubines, and in this particular year he ends up choosing one extra. I can't remember the numbers, but he ends up choosing one extra who is the main character, and then there is a sapphic relationship between her and one of the other girls, and there is a bit of a rebellion that goes on from within. And I can't tell you too much about the second one because one, I haven't read it yet, but also it'll give you spoilers for the first one. But yeah, I'm very excited to carry on with this series. I did enjoy the first one. I gave it 4 stars, so yeah, we'll be reading this one hopefully soon. And I do now have the concluding part, which like I said I will get to in a little bit. Next up, we have some books that I picked up in Waterstones just on a random trip after work one day. This one, I had literally watched a video on my lunch break which was announcing the Recreate book club, which is hosted by Becca, Ashley and Rachel, and the book that they're going to be reading in January is Law by Alexandra Bracken. So Recreate book club is all about books that are sort of retellings or have been made into film or TV programs, I believe. So this one is a retelling. It's based on Greek mythology. It's about how there's in this world there is one day every however many years where the gods are made mortal and are essentially hunted down by the humans, and it's about what happens on one of those days when one of the gods gets injured, I believe. And I don't know too much else about it. I have heard fairly mixed reviews, but I am excited to read it as part of this read along. I will be watching the live show and joining in the comments. I love sort of doing those things and talking to other people about books we've all read at the same time. So for while it was on a buy one get one half price offer, I might as well pick it up, then I can participate. The other one I got on the buy one get one half price offer was You'll Be the Death of Me by Karen M. McManus. So this is her newest book. I actually own all of her books so far, I believe, and I thought I'd pick this one up while it was there because, like I said, buy one get one half price. It has the purple sprayed edges, so it matches all my other copies of hers. And again, I don't know too much about this one. It says 3 friends with secrets to hide, one shocking murder, will the truth ever come out? It'll be some sort of YA thriller. I'm not going to read the synopsis because I don't want to know too much about it. I think thrillers are always better to not know too much about them going in. I'm just hoping it's more along the lines of her more like thriller mystery ones, like One of Us Is Lying or Two Can Keep a Secret, because the last one I read from her, The Cousins, the mystery element of it wasn't that big of a plot line and I got a little bit bored with it, so I'm hoping it goes more back to the other ones because I did really enjoy those. So the reason that I actually went into Waterstones on that day was to pick up a pre-order, which was Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Now I know that this is obviously a book that's been out for a while, but this is the Waterstones special edition. So for Wayward Son and Anywhere the Wind Blows, they had these special pretty Waterstones editions with sprayed edges, but there had never been a matching copy for Carry On because there had been a cover change after Carry On had come out, and Waterstones decided to release this one, which means that I now have a matching set on my shelves because it has a look at those edges. They are beautiful. It also sort of carries on underneath the book as well, so it wraps around. It's beautiful. I'm really happy that I have this one now. Happy that I have a matching set because I really love this series. The only issue I do have is that the end paper artwork, whilst beautiful, the other two are sort of full colour, so I don't know if they maybe like brush this one out and didn't spend as much time on it. The drawings are beautiful, they just don't match what is in the second and the third one, but I am really happy that I do have a matching set now. Still annoyed that the top and the bottom are plain, but that's beautiful. Next up, we have a couple that I ordered from Waterstones again, but basically they had their Black Friday offer where it was double points, but if you spend over £100 you got triple points. So I did a load of pre-orders, but I still needed like a little bit more to push it over 100 so I could get triple points. So I ordered 2 books that I just wanted anyway that were already out. So these ones have come now, whereas the rest of them will come as and when they get released. So the first one being The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. We're going to ignore that sticker that isn't a sticker, we're just going to do that. So this is an adult romance that's got a fake dating trope in it. I know that it's sort of set in the science world as well. I don't know too much else about it because I like to go into books not knowing too much about them. I just know that everyone is raving about this book at the minute. I will be reading it in January. I am hoping that I love it. That is all I'm going to say, apart from the fact that this started off as real fan fiction. So essentially when I'm reading this, you're going to be thinking Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley, which is, I'm not going to complain about that. So the other one that I ordered to sort of bump up the price so that I got the triple points was the next book that I was needing in the realm of the Eldlings, which is Ship of Destiny by Robin Hobb. This is the last one in the Live Ship Traders. It's about boats that come to life when 3 generations of the family that own them have died on the ships, and like I said, this is the last one in the series. I just read Mad Ship this month, so I'm happy that I have this. I tend to buy the next one as I'm like reading the one before it. I do actually have the one after this now as well, but I'll get to that one shortly. And yeah, very excited to, again, I will be reading this one in January. I'm really excited to do that. Next up, I'm actually going to show you 3 books together because it is a set. So we have got The Greenbone Saga by Fonda Lee. So as you can probably see, I'm actually already reading Jade City because that's why the bookmark is hanging out of it. But yeah, we have got The Greenbone Saga, and it is the Illumicrate special editions. So they are all naked hardcovers and they are all absolutely beautiful with sprayed edges. We've got Jade City, we've got Jade War. She never shows up as well on camera. And then we've got Jade Legacy as well. So I'm very excited to read these. I'm hoping actually to read them all in one go. In January I've just started this one and I should be carrying straight on with these ones afterwards as well. But I'm hoping I love them because they're really, really pretty and I would hate to have to pass them on to somebody else afterwards. The next 3 that I've got to show you are actually all gifted, and these were from Secret Santa that we did on Ro from Wandering Through Worlds Patreon. So we all put our name in and we all bought gifts for each other, and I was a little bit spoiled by the lovely Kay who bought these for me. So she actually bought me 3 books. The first one being Gemina by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. You are sick of me talking about how much I love J. Kristoff's writing at the minute, but I read the first Illuminate book many, many years ago and I liked it. I didn't love it at the time, but I also think I will love it more on a reread. I actually got the first one bought for me for my birthday. It's right behind me, you can probably see it. So I am looking forward to being able to carry on with this series. I would like to get Obsidio before I read them because I kind of just want to read them all in one go. It's totally mixed media formats, so a lot of chat logs and then there's like diagrams and things as well. So it's kind of like a full reading experience and I'm really excited to jump back into this world and hopefully this time I will actually love it. Gemina I actually haven't read it all before. I'd read Illuminate but I never carried on with Gemina and Obsidio, so I'm happy to have that one and I just need to pick up Obsidio. I'm just saying this again because I'm reminding myself to buy it soon as possible because I want to read those soon. One of the other books she bought me was Ruin of Kings by Jen Lyons. So this one I put on my wish list because I'd heard Jade from Jadey Ray Reads talk about it a lot. I have no idea what it's about. Let's have a look on the back. As a bard's apprentice, Kieran grew up on heroic tales, yet he also steals, desperate to escape Qua's slums. And when he raids the wrong house, he's marked by a demon and life will never be the same again. Kieran's plight attracts royalty who claim him as their immortal heir's lost son. However, far from living the dream, Kieran's embroiled in his new family's ruthless schemes. Escaping just makes matters worse, as Kieran is horrified to discover he features in an ancient prophecy. Every side, from gods to demons to dragons, wants him as their pawn, and maybe Kieran isn't even the hero, for he's not destined to save invade the Empire. He's destined to destroy it. Yeah, if I read that synopsis, I don't think I would have immediately grabbed this, but I just keep hearing really good things about it and I'm really intrigued. So yeah, happy to have this. I've been reading more and more fantasy, so glad to have a new one to hopefully fall in love with. And then the last book that I got on my Secret Santa was one that I've actually already read. I read it on Christmas Eve because it's a Christmas Horus picture book. It is literally a child's like bedtime story picture book. Like I said, I read this on Christmas Eve. It is absolutely adorable. I'm very happy that I have this. It'll probably become a tradition to read it on Christmas Eve. I've read the actual novel before, but this is like a different version of it. So slightly younger readers, so definitely younger than me, but it's adorable. I'm happy I have it. So thank you once again to Kay for those lovely gifts. Next up, I'm not going to give you a synopsis because I've already done it, but I have got Gills of Fate and Fury by Natasha Nyan. This is the third book in that series. So this is a Fairy Loot edition. I actually pre-ordered this before I'd even read the first book in the series, but I'm glad I did because now I've got the sort of sprayed edge version to match my first one, and I did really enjoy it. So glad that I now have third and final part to conclude this trilogy. We then have another book subscription box one. This is the December Lumicrate, and that is A Marvellous Light by Freya Marske. So all I know about this is that it is queer historical fiction with a fantasy element to it, I believe. I don't want to know too much else about it. My ring light is reflecting a lot in this because this is actually a plastic dust cover, so let me just take it off so you can see what I mean by that. But yeah, it's see-through. So that is the actual naked hardback, which is beautiful. And then look at those edges. They are just stunning. I love this edition of this book. I was excited for this book anyway, so happy that I now have this one. We'll hopefully be reading this one sooner rather than later with book subscription boxes. There's some that I sort of get on my shelves and leave for ages, and there's some that I'm like, I need to read this immediately. This is more of a I need to read this immediately type book. We then have a couple of special editions. So I went to Aldi to buy some Christmas stuff with my mum, and I saw these in the shop and they were like $3.99 each, so I bought both of them. One of them is one of my favourite books, the other one I just kind of wanted something pretty on my shelves, I think. So first we have Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. This is one of my favourite books. I really loved this, one of my favourite classics, and this is just a really stunning edition, so happy I have this. And then we've got Peter Pan as well. These are the V&A editions. So yeah, just happy to have these ones on my shelf for a really decent price, to be honest. On to a couple more subscription box books. So now the December Fairy Loot. The first one, this one actually had two books in it. So the first one was a paperback, and that was Coldest Touch by Isabel Sterling. This is a paranormal romance with vampires in it. I am excited to read it. I really dislike this cover, but because it looks cheesy as hell. I'm hoping it's not that cheesy, but I am excited to read this one. So I'm still happy that it came in the book box, even though I don't actually love this cover. And then the actual main book in the box, I have no idea what it's about whatsoever, and I don't know if I am excited to read it, but it's there. And that is Year of the Reaper by Makia Lucia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I've done really bad at remembering to look up people's names before filming today, so I'm very sorry if I'm butchering it. But the thing with this one is that in the synopsis it mentions something about a devastating plague that is sweeping the land, and I know it's in a fantasy setting, but I still don't know if I want to read that right now, so yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, this was the latest Fairy Loot one. We have got just black sprayed edges in this one, and then some under the cover embossing and artwork as well. It's not the best Fairy Loot edition I've seen. I have only been subscribed to Fairy Loot again for the last couple of months. Subscribed to them many years ago, but that was before they started doing the really fancy editions. Last month's was definitely a nicer edition with Jade Fire Gold, and this month is a little bit of a letdown compared to that. I'm hoping that going forward I'll be able to have some of the really stunning editions that I've seen them do previously. Okay, so we're on to the last sort of sections of books now. So these were all acquired on the same day. The first two I'll show you are actually gifts. I came home to these. These are from the lovely Lisa, whose channel I will link down below. She sent me a couple belated Christmas gifts that were very much her brand, because the first one was Tracy's Blade. She literally said in the gift note, I couldn't not send you something by one of my favourite authors. I have not read any Sebastian de Castell. I really want to. I have got Spellslinger, but I haven't picked it up yet. I purposely bought Spellslinger first because I thought that YA might be the better route to go down to get into his work, but to be honest, Greatcoats probably intrigues me more, so I am actually really happy to have this. It's actually also quite short. I expected with it being a fantasy that it'd be quite a big book, and it's not, so I might have to read this one soon. I don't really know what it's about. It says, King is dead, the great courts have been disbanded, and Valkio, Valmond and fellow magistrates Kest and Braste have been reduced to working as bodyguards for a nobleman who refuses to pay them. Things could be worse. Their employer could be lying dead on the floor while the three of them are forced to watch as the killer plants evidence framing them for the murder. Oh wait, that's exactly what's happening. That's just like the first half of the synopsis and I'm already hooked. This sounds fantastic. I may have to rethink some reading plans and get this one on a TBR as soon as possible. Thanks, Lisa. The other book that she bought me was Fool's Errand by Robin Hobb. I did mention that the next book in this series will be showing up soon. So this is book 7 in the Realm of the Elderlings, but it is book 1 in a new trilogy. It is the first one in the Tawny Man trilogy, which is the third sort of set of books in that series, in that overall series. This is back with Fitz, who I do adore. So I'm happy to see where his life has taken him now. I mean, I'm thinking he's not going to be to happy places, because that guy has a really tough life, in all fairness. I just want to give him a hug. Lisa's gift note in this did say, this will make you cry, good luck. So I have a feeling I know one of the things that's going to happen just from like things I've seen online, but I have also heard that even if you know it's going to happen, it's still awful. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but I'm not looking forward to it, but I am also very, very much looking forward to it. So then the last set of books to talk about, basically Waterstones again did a half price sale. So they don't normally do this, but after Christmas for the next sort of 3 days they did half price on hardbacks, but it was only in store. So I made a point of going into Waterstones, made a point of going when it was quieter so that it wasn't around too many people, but I did just want to buy some hardbacks because why not take advantage of it? And I came back with 9 books. Should have cost me £150, so I'm happy that it was all half price. Let's just talk about them, shall we? So I have brought these ones into kind of categories. First one being a second copy, so I actually went in with the intention of buying a nice version of one of my favourite classics, and that is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I love The Great Gatsby, it's one of my favourite books. I've read it quite a few times now, but my version of it that I normally have is one of the little like penguin paperback ones where it's literally just a green cover that says Great Gatsby on it. Like there's nothing fancy at all. So I really wanted this one because it's the sort of art deco style with the gold foiling on there, and I'm just happy to finally have a nice copy of one of my favourite books. It's something I've been looking at buying for a while, but have always then got like distracted by other books that I don't already own, so it being half price was a perfect excuse to finally buy this. Next up we have some series continuations. These are ones that were sort of the last things I picked up in store, and to be honest they're probably the things I'm a little bit more questioning why I bought these, even though they are actually ones that continue a series that I already have. The first one being The Nobleman's Guide to Scandal and Shipwrecks by Mackenzie Lee. And now I know this author has done some things that are not the best. I don't particularly want to support the author too much, and I probably won't after this series, but I did really enjoy the first 2 books in this series, and I believe this is going to be the last one because it is sort of the third and final sibling in the family. And I did just want to see how it wrapped up, so I thought while it was half price is probably the best time for me to get it. So I picked up this. These books basically all follow a different sibling in the Montague family. They're historical fictions and they're kind of about the siblings rebelling against what their family expects them to be. So far they've all been queer stories. I don't know if this one is. The first one was a male-male romance, the second one had ace rep, and then I don't know about this one to be honest, but I'm happy that I am able to finish this series, but I just don't want to talk about this author again, so we're just going to move past it. The next book that I bought is one that I think I'm going to like this series. It was a Fairy Loot book many years ago now, the first one in the series, and I haven't got around to reading it, but it's one that's always intrigued me, and the sequel came out last year and I wanted to get it while I could get the hardback, just to make sure that if I did like it I had a matching set. And obviously again with it being half price I thought I might as well, because at least I'm not splashing out a ridiculous amount of money if I don't even know if I'm going to like it. So that is Occulta by Maya Martin. So this is a sequel to Nocturna. I can't even remember the synopsis of this, I just remember being really intrigued by it, and obviously I don't want to read the synopsis inside here at the minute and I can't easily get to Nocturna, but I am excited. It says on the front, a thief made a lord, a prince made a villain, a deadly game for power. I don't know, but at least I have a matching set on my shelf. We all know I'm a sucker for aesthetics, so yeah. So the next one I have is just one that does not fit with anything else because it's one that I was just interested in, and that is How to Kill Your Family by Bella Mackey. So this is about a girl who has some grievance with her father, I believe, and she then slowly goes round and kills off all of her family members, but then ends up arrested for something completely different, I believe. So it sounds deep, dark and twisted, and I actually love those types of books. It says it's for fans of Killing Eve and My Sister the Serial Killer. Really enjoyed My Sister the Serial Killer, so hoping I will like this one. Up on the back there's like a to-do list and it says kill my family, make a claim on their fortune, get away with murder, adopt a dog. Sounds like a good list. But yeah, it is the Waterstones special edition, so it does have the pink sprayed edges as well. It was actually the last one in the store, and this was one of the things that I particularly went in for, so I'm glad that I was able to find it. And then sort of the last group to talk about in this haul is things that I bought because of BookTube a lot of the times. The first one being Psalm of the Wild Bull by Becky Chambers. This one is a novella that features robots. I don't know too much else about it, but I do know that Maddie from Book Browsing Blog really loves it, and I have been wanting to read it, so again, half price, why not? It's a really short book with it being a novella, so it can be a little bit pricey when it's not on an offer. So while it was there, thought I'd buy it. This I will be reading in January, so I will have some thoughts on this soon. Next up we have one that is a classic. It's a sci-fi classic. I watched the film of this earlier on this year, and then I keep hearing Kayla from Books and Lala talk about it because she read it recently. And to be honest, when I watched the film, I did say I did a video about film adaptations, and I said it is something that I'd be intrigued to read because I think it would work really well as a book. So I picked up Dune by Frank Herbert. This is the new edition of it that's just come out. They didn't have the Waterstones special edition anymore, that sold out a while ago, but I think this is just really pretty cover anyway. And yeah, I am intrigued to read it. When I watched the film, like I said, I felt like it would work really well on page, so I'm excited to see if I do enjoy this. Then we've got one that a lot of people on BookTube got a few months ago because it was in a Fairy Loot box. It was before I subscribed to Fairy Loot, but I was interested in it, and I know that Liv particularly really enjoys this book, so I wanted to see what was so great about it, and that is Six Crimson Crayons by Elizabeth Lim. So I believe this is set in the same world as the Spin the Dawn duology, but you can read them separately because they're set like centuries apart. I have no idea of the synopsis of this one, but I do really love this cover, and we all know I'm about aesthetics, so, and I'm not even going to try and read the synopsis for you right now because to be honest, I kind of just want to go in not knowing too much about it. I'm just intrigued by it, and it's going to look really pretty on my shelves, so why not? And then the last book I got on that particular shopping day was one that basically there was a thing that a lot of you have probably seen going around on Twitter that was about friends sort of picking books for people to read next year. So it was like a 12 books, and people suggested books for them to read. People suggested books for you to read, and that created a TBR for you for next year. And one particular person, actually it was two people, it was Ro and Cece, were just telling everyone to read Sabriel by Garth Nix. So when I saw this version, half price yet again, I thought, you know what, it's a YA fantasy classic. I, again, could not give you a synopsis because I know nothing about it, but it's a YA fantasy classic. Why not try and read it and see what the hype is about? I know there's quite a few books in this series now. I know that there's just been, is it a prequel that's just come out to it? And yeah, it's a 25th anniversary edition, and it's still, like, there's still new books coming out, so clearly, like, it's doing something right. That's the way I'm seeing it. Hopefully I will love it. Okay, so I thought that they were actually the last book to talk about, but then I forgot I had 2 pre-orders that arrived just before the end of the month, and I think I forgot because I've actually already read both of these. The first one being Here's to Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. This was the last book that I read during the month of December. It is the sequel to What If It's Us. It's about 2 boys who have a meet cute that doesn't necessarily lead that easily into a relationship. The first one is about sort of their summer romance, and then this one is just following on from that. I can't say too much else because it'll give spoilers away, but I really love this book. I really loved both these writers. They are 2 of my favourite authors, and I was really happy that we got a sequel to this, and I did very much enjoy this book. Full thoughts in my wrap up, but yeah, this one came on the 30th and I read it in its entirety on the 31st, and it is 460 pages long, so you can tell that I pretty much devoured this book. I'm very happy that I have it. And then the last book that I received in 2021 is another queer YA love story. Why the hell not? And it is a book that I've already read. I actually got an arc of this earlier on in the year. It's actually one of the first books that I read on this channel, so it's a nice way to end it, and me now finally having a physical copy, and that is If This Gets Out by Sophie Gonzalez and Cale Dietrich. This one arrived on New Year's Eve. It is about 2 boys in a boy band who fall in love but can't tell sort of the wider world because the management won't let them be out in public. And it's adorable, but also has some like really important discussions in here as well, which is exactly sort of the mix that I like. And everyone should read this. Now it is out in the world, I can officially just say to everyone, read this, please. It is fantastic. I thought it was going to be really cheesy, and it is, but it's also not. It's also so much more than that, and I loved it. I've just realised I actually forgot one. Well done me. I said I got one as a present from a family member. It is downstairs. It's a book called Axioms End by Lindsay Ellis. All I know about this, to be honest, is it's sci-fi, and this author has been suddenly spoken about a lot since I got this. My sister bought it me for Christmas. She has read it, I believe. She only gave it 3 stars, so I'm not entirely sure why she bought it me. I need to actually ask her. But I think she does know that I tend to like more sci-fi fantasy stuff than she does, although I am a bit like hit and miss with sci-fi, so we'll see how it goes. I can honestly cannot tell you a single thing about it. It's not something that I had on my radar at all. It was just something that was gifted to me. So yeah, that is actually the last one. I got that one on Christmas Day. So, right, so that is everything. I'm not even going to try and pick up all the books that I got because they've already dropped about 5 times just in piles by my feet. So we're not going to try and lift them up. But yeah, that was a nice big haul to end 2021. I would say that I'm going to try and like curb how much I'm buying during 2022. But I won't. I know I won't. It just, I like buying books. It brings me joy. And I'm fortunate enough to be in a position where I'm able to do this. I appreciate that not everyone can. And this could go into like a whole conversation about consumerism. Like I said, while I am fortunate enough to be in the position to buy books, I like supporting authors by buying books as well. So that is everything. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below. Let me know, did you get any nice books during the month of December? Did you get any Christmas books? I haven't actually mentioned that most of all the books I bought from Waterstones in the sale, that was money that my parents had given me for Christmas specifically to buy books, because they don't like buying books for me because they think that I'm just going to go and buy them myself. So they gave me money to buy books, and that's what that was. Should have actually mentioned that. Might have made this look not quite so bad. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye.